I'm not stupid.
Dirty fucking pervert.
Francis.
Dirty fucking pervert.
Look, Francis.
Do you like perverts?
No, of course I don't.
Do you like dirt?
I don't like dirt.
Then why are we having this discussion?
I'm definitely not stupid. People say I am, but that's probably a jealous instinct. If you don't understand something, you just become jealous of it. I don't understand myself sometimes. But I'm not jealous of myself. Sorry, that's confused me.
We have to have this discussion.
No, we don't.
We do.
We don't.
We do.
No, we don't.
We do. Because...
Why do we?
Because we do, because I'm telling you why, actually.
Why do we have to have this discussion?
If you'd listen. If you'd listen, Francis, I'm telling you why.
Well, tell me fucking why, then.
I'm telling you fucking why, if you'd listen. If you'd listen, Francis, I'm telling you fucking why.
I once imagined a world where you could buy a synthetic form of love, which was inserted into the anus. And you could just buy this. Everyone could just buy this and be in love if they wanted. And it was positive. When you think about it, it was a positive thing. But then I couldn't remember whether it was something I'd seen on TV. And maybe I hadn't imagined it after all. I'm thinking of becoming a terrorist.
We have to have this discussion because you're likely to get yourself into trouble again.
I'm older than you, Louise. And please don't say things like that because it's really fucking stupid.
You're likely to go off.
You're not Nelson Mandela, Louise.
You're likely to get some idea into your head.
Coffee Annan, you're not Coffee Annan, Louise.
And someone's likely to get hurt because of your brain.
And what about you? What about your brain?
What about me?
Are you going to help me or not?
Are you going to calm down?
I'm calm. I'm calm. This is calm.
I watch things on telly, American things, and I think that's what I want to do. I want to be a pathologist or I want to go skiing. And then the programme would end and I'd turn and look at my mum, and in my heart I knew that she was sitting in her own urine again. And I'd have to admit,
I'm not going to hurt anyone.
I'd get a funny feeling.
I'm not going to use violence.
I have to admit that I'd get a funny feeling in the pits of my stomach.
I'm not going to be a bad person.
And then I'd feel bad.
I'm going to kick the fucking shit out of him.
And for us, it's not really about the money.
Or the fame.
Or the glamour and the
cruises.
The Oscars, the adulation. It's not really about that stuff.
Record contracts.
It's more about saying...
signings, jets, dinners with religious leaders.
Saying something to people out there.
Wealth and glory.
Saying something to ordinary people just...
because that's what we are. Ordinary is...
that's what we have is ordinary.
To be honest.
Our appeal.
If that's what we have, if appeal is...
oh, we do.
We definitely do, yes. All right.
We do.
We do have that appeal. But the point is...
the point we'd like to make...
is that we are just ordinary. And ordinary...
we sit in front of the television and eat...
chips.
Fruit.
Fruit, yes, though sometimes. But yes, we sit there with our little boy...
little armistice.
We sit there with our little armistice.
Beautiful little.
Beautiful little armistice, yes. Just like an ordinary couple anywhere in any world.
And the point we'd like to make is that it's easy to look at us and think...
you know.
look at them.
Envy.
Well...
you know. Look at them.
But we are you.
And that's why we'd like to be a beacon.
A beacon of hope and dreams that shines out across this world and says...
and says
it's possible.
Possible for us.
It's possible for us.
It's possible for you.
It's possible for you too, to be like us.
Though not all of you.
No.
Because...
no, not all of you.
that would not be possible.
Not everyone can be like us.
That wouldn't be right.
At all.
And there's nothing wrong with being you.
Fuck no.
Don't say fuck, darling.
Sorry.
Which is the message we'd like to.
Sorry about that.
Which is the message we'd like to give.
I'm sorry.
It's okay to be yourself, but use us as an example if you want to.
Yes.
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 Can I touch you?
You can't say that.
Sorry. Sorry. Can I? Can I though? Please?
I'm the sort of person that likes to think of my weaknesses as my strengths. I heard someone say that on television once and I thought, that's good. I'll have that, that's good.
Just let me touch your sleeve.
No. No touching.
I see what's going on. I think things through.
I can't stand this feeling. It's like someone has injected my body with 2 extra pints of blood.
I'll go.
Please don't go.
Bins have been blowing up on our estate this summer. And that's not me. Just so you know and are aware that that's not me. I'm walking home. Suddenly there's this pop, like a 20-foot bag of crisps being stood on. Millisecond of intense silence. Rush of air. 20 feet away there's a fire in what's left of a bin, which is now nothing but twisting snakes of metal attached to the ground. And I'm looking around thinking, who's done that? And were they deliberately trying to get me? And then I noticed the first twitch. Second twitch. Third twitch. Spin round the entire estate, curtains twitching. Every window, curtain twitching at me, and for a second I see the view of 30 or 40 different perspectives looking down at me. Suddenly I'm looking down at me from 30 or 40 different perspectives. At me 20 feet away from a burning bin. And I can feel them all thinking one thought. One thought in all their brains. Him, they're thinking. Him.
What do you think of an old man inviting a young girl into his garage?
She's not a young girl.
She's younger than you.
She's younger than you.
I have a fantasy where I ask a girl out. She says yes. I take her to Heathrow Airport and we spend the entire day watching the planes taking off. And it's a beautiful day. The sun's shining. She's laughing at my jokes. I think she has blonde hair, but I could be wrong. And what's strange is that when it ends, I often feel that an organ in my stomach has disappeared. Funny, eh? I'm not stupid.
What do you think of an old man walking out on his wife for 22 years?
I think you're getting a bit angry.
What do you think of an old man walking out on his wife for 22 years and inviting an underage girl into his garage? Someone no one likes.
I like her.
Not too bright. Vulnerable. What do you think of that?
I think you need to get out. Get a job. Get moving.
What do you think of that?
Sitting in here watching...
What do you think
Curtain
of
twitching.
that?
Curtain twitching. Curtain twitching. It's not healthy.
What do you think of that?
I think it's bad.
Thank you. Thank you.
But that doesn't mean you have to start losing control.
That's your answer to everything. Get a job. Money. Status. World's falling up to pieces. Terrorists and fucking perverts. You've changed, Louise. It's just an office job, but you've really changed. You're different.
I'm not different.
You're going to leave me.
Francis.
I don't care, leave me. I don't.
Oh, Francis.
Don't leave me, Louise.
I'm not.
Where's your garage? Have you got a garage, Louise?
I like your shoes.
Don't say shoes, darling.
Sorry.
I never know when things are funny. So what I do is I wait until someone else starts laughing, and then I join in, quick as I can. Hope I haven't got in too late, because there's nothing worse than being left out in the cold with a laugh hanging. People laugh a lot nowadays. think that's fear.
I'm not answering that question.
It's a simple question. Where's your garage, Louise?
I told you. I'm not answering.
Where's your garage?
I haven't got a garage.
Where's my garage?
You haven't got a garage.
I have got a garage. I have got a garage, Louise.
It's burnt out.
Like all the other garages on the estate, except for one.
He didn't burn out the garage.
I know he didn't burn out the garage.
Kids or something. He wasn't there when...
I know he wasn't here. That's the point. That's the point I'm making. He wasn't here. He's new, and yet he's got a garage.
He pays for it.
You seen his wife wandering around? Wandering around, Louise. Looking for him. While he's in the fucking garage. Imagine what it's like to realise you've lived with a pervert all these years, and then they give him the garage.
He pays for it.
Dollars. That's all that matters. Dollars and fucking perverts.
Examples of weakness that are also a strength. My non-acceptance of the world. I do not accept what I'm told. I do not believe things just because I've been told things. A strength because I get to question things. And a weakness because it singles me out as different from them. Further back. You want me to go further back?
And in the past, there has been great media attention on us, on our family.
Little armistice.
Beautiful little.
And people want to know.
They do, they're very curious.
They want to know how he's doing, and is he taking his first steps?
Teeth came through.
Was it a cold or chicken pox? And, we can't just ignore people.
The fan base.
Though we'd like to sometimes.
No, we wouldn't.
Well, sometimes.
Well, we wouldn't because we love our public.
Yes, of course. But...
We love them and we understand, so we wouldn't.
All right. We wouldn't then.
But sometimes we do wish that the media would back off.
Which is all I was saying.
No, not really, but yes, we do.
We do.
We do sometimes, don't we?
We do sometimes ask for our privacy.
And it's good when that's respected.
And it's bad when it's not.
But it's good when it is.
Because sometimes I just wish I could kiss you.
That's a little...
Without the public, I mean. But sometimes I sit alone and I close my eyes and I imagine what it would be like to brush my lips against her hair, to breathe in the air that was once trapped in the fibres of her skin, to take the moisture from her breath deep into my lungs and eat it, digest it, and part of me feels like cutting a piece out of myself.
But most of the time, we're very happy with the media. We think you do a great job.
Yes.
This one boy comes in wearing trainers. New trainers, really nice trainers, showing off his trainers to the entire class. Not a friend, but not an enemy, so for me, that's a friend. They break his legs, getting the trainers. They break his legs. Didn't have to. Misunderstood the complexities of the social structure and his place within it. I remember sitting for an hour, looking at my trainers, trying to understand the complexities of the social structure and my place within it. No idea. No idea at all. On the way home, Mum stopped me in the street and asked me for some spare change. Breath like pickled death. Gave her some. Went home. Had fish fingers and Pop-Tarts.
Dad left me that garage.
Points of view. It's all about points of view. Killing 2,000 people's not wrong. It just depends on what 2,000 people it is. Said that in maths, got detention. Said it in media studies and I got an A. She thought I was quoting Orson Welles. Said it in games and I was asked to leave the gym. Teacher looked like he might cry. Didn't say it again.
Dad left me that garage.
I know.
It's nothing now.
I know.
Burnt out piece of shit.
I know.
I hate this place. But it's our place. It's our fucking place, Louise. Every breath you take,
Francis.
every move you make,
Stop it, Francis.
every bond you break, every step you take,
Shut the fuck up.
I'll be watching you.
Shut up!
That's a beautiful song, Louise. Dad used to sing that. He used to stand there looking down at you and sing that entire song holding my hand. He'd be holding my hand and we'd both be looking at you and he'd sing every single bar of that song to you. Copy of loot in your bag?
Just looking.
What for?
The computer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I love you, Louise.
I love you, Francis.
We do a project on crimes against humanity. I bring in a copy of Hello magazine. They're laughing. I don't understand. Did my presentation, celebrities, breast implants, super rich mansions. Quite impassioned. I may have spat once or twice accidentally. And at the end of it, I finish and I look up. And they're all staring at me. Just staring. Silent. I remember going to Alton Towers with my mum. And that was nice. She didn't drink. Not one drink for the entire day. Only thing was she kept putting me on the children's rides. 15 years old and sitting on a pink elephant with a top hat. Last week I'm standing outside Dixon's, watching the news through the shop window. And I found that even without the sound, I knew exactly what to feel. Because my body had become conditioned to its emotional structure, which was embarrassing because I'm always in tears by the end. It was raining. No one noticed. Remember when I was 11, going to church every week on my own, just going in. But I soon stopped. I think I made them uncomfortable. Mediocrity, that's another example of weakness. That's also a strength. I'm fairly average at everything, so that means I manage to survive. But it also means I'm fairly average at everything.
Well, that's a very interesting question. But let me answer that first by saying that we believe it's very important to find a sense of purpose.
Absolutely.
Does that answer your question?
A sense of direction.
Maybe.
Because without a sense of direction,
Sense of purpose?
what have you really got?
Your family, yes?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Which is more important to us
Family.
than anything in the world.
Little armistice.
Anything for that boy.
Everything. All of it.
Just to save one of his kidneys.
If we needed to, yes, everything.
Without a thought.
If it was absolutely necessary.
Without a heartbeat's hesitation.
Because you can live on one
What?
kidney. You can live on one, is all I'm...
We'd give everything.
Yes. Yes. Everything. But you can buy them
We'd give everything.
Everything. Yes, definitely. Everything.
We can sit here in this and fester, or we can aspire, Louise.
She has the most perfect breasts, and if only I could touch them, you could shoot me in the back of the head and watch my brains spill out of my face and onto the pavement, and I wouldn't mind. I'm in love with you.
Cunt!
Don't say cunt, darling.
Fucking cunt!
Armistice has a beautiful smile.
Beautiful, you fucking beautiful. Yes, he does have a beautiful smile.
Find a hero, a living hero. Presentation on a contemporary hero. But it has to be someone who's truly heroic. Someone who's an inspiration to millions. A determined individual who sacrificed wealth, life, and happiness for what they believe in. And I scrabble around. I try really hard. No one. Nothing. Celebrities, politicians, sportspersons. But to be honest, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing, and suddenly I find one. Bang! Inspiration, lightning bolt, epiphany, perfect sense. I'm standing in front of the class, and I read out the title of my project. Osama the Hero.
Do you want to aspire, Louise?
Yes.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
You're a very beautiful woman.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm not.
No, you're not. But you are. This is what we have. Here, each other. This is our life. This is what we know.
Yes.
Is there a point in trying to change that? Louise?
No.
No. Please don't talk to me about garages. Do you know why he's put a door in that garage?
To get in and out.
Fucking hell, Louise! He can get in and out through the garage door. The fucking big door in the front, if that's... He's put a door in that door. The big door. He's got a little door in the big door, so he doesn't have to open the big door, and no one sees inside.
We like our privacy.
Yes, of course.
It's an important issue.
As is love.
Respect is important.
But love is more important.
Well, respect.
Just let me touch your shoes. The soles of your fucking shoes. I don't care. Just something.
Respect is...
Just something.
Respect.
Just something.
Respect is...
Just something.
And I'm telling them about a boy as a young man, 22 years old, rejecting his family's vast personal fortune, $3 billion, and off into the mountains of Afghanistan to fight the communists. But really, not fight in the way our leaders fight, but really fight and get wounded. Not fight like a president or a prime minister, sending boys off to slaughter each other while you eat in the best restaurants and go to concerts and think about what you'll spend your money on when you retire. But go out there with a gun and fight yourself. Bleeding, injured. I tell them of a quiet man who rarely laughs but often smiles, who lives simply, eats simply, dresses simply. According to those who have met him, a man of impeccable manners, who is known never to lie. I explain how, despite being on the run in one of the world's poorest regions, this man is so well loved that no one has turned him in to claim the $50 million reward. I explain how this man survived the war against the greatest powers on earth with only a few hundred fighters and little resources. And then I look up and I see the faces staring at me. They're just staring at me. worse than before. This time I know I've really done something.
What your father did for you.
Don't, Francis.
He went to prison for you.
Please don't.
All right, I won't. But he did. He did that, and you know he did that. He went to prison to keep you safe. And you're just going to let a pervert walk around.
Oh, Francis.
Just walk around as if nothing fucking matters. As if we have no morals.
Sometimes I get visions of the future. Sometimes I can see myself aged 40, bald, fat and drunk. Thinking of me aged 17, and the me aged 40 is crying, and the me aged 17 is laughing. And my head begins to hurt because I'm not sure which one is real.
If you think I'm going to let that happen, you've got another thing coming.
One touch of your ear, your arm, the back of your hand. What can it mean to you? It means everything to me. I'm a 50-year-old man, and look what you're doing to me.
And as long as people can look at us...
I'm grovelling. You've got me grovelling.
And as long as people can look at us and feel...
Grovelling in my own shit.
Like they know us and feel secure.
I feel like I've fallen asleep and woken up in my own sick.
Darling, as long as they see the family unit.
Your hair, or your finger, or your cheek. I could touch your cheek.
Us with armistice.
I could touch your chair, or your chin, or...
That beautiful boy.
Or...
All right!
What?
One touch.
Really?
One. Just one.
Bins blow up. More bins, and always near me. And you can feel them thinking. I consider being a priest, a lighthouse keeper, a policeman, a taxidermist, a soldier, a tramp, an undertaker, a dancer in a gay bar, a footballer, a tube driver, a drug dealer, a surfer, an accountant, a carer for a person of disability, a lorry driver and a Buddhist. But I find myself wondering how much it costs to get to Afghanistan. Because maybe then...
This is our place.
Maybe then...
We live here.
Maybe then...
We always will live here. Won't we?
Yes.
Maybe then I'd have something to believe in.
Which, of course, was how we felt when Little Armistice died.
What?
Little Armistice.
Little...
Yes, Little Armistice. Little Armistice, darling, who died of only one kidney.
Little Armistice isn't.
Yes. Yes, he is, darling. He's dead.
Dead?
Poor Little Armistice.
No, that's not...
Dead. Yes. Dead. And we cried so hard because he fought so hard. Brave little... But he only had his one little kidney.
One.
One lonely little kidney. Couldn't survive.
Yes.
Poor little dead Armistice who died of loneliness and neglect.
No.
Yes. Yes, he did. And we would like to thank everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone, the public, for their support.
Everyone. Everyone for their support.
Mandy? Because word has got around. And I can feel the hate. Oh dear.
I'm going to fucking kill someone. Oi. Oi. Oi, you. It's alright. I'm just asking you a question. Do you know who I am? No, seriously. Do you know who I am? Seriously? Do you know who I am? Have you heard of me? Look, this isn't... I'm just asking if you've heard of me. That's all. Don't shake your head, because that's just winding me up. I'm just asking if you've heard of me. Now, don't give me the answer you think I want, because the answer you think I want is not the answer I want. Okay? It's not a test. I'm not going to hurt you. It's not loaded. I'm just asking you a simple question. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? What do you mean you don't know who I am? How do you not know who I am? So you have no idea. Don't shake your head. So you've got no idea who I am. No one ever said anything to you about me. I know who you are. A piece of shit like you. I know all about you and your little presentations. Yeah, that's right. We all know about that. We have ears, Gary. And you're seeing. You haven't even got a fucking clue who I am. Like no one on this estate has ever said a word to you about me. Ever. So no one on this estate ever talks about me. No one. Ever. You see what happens when you give the answers to questions that you think people want? You get it wrong. You get it wrong, Gary. Honesty is always the best policy. Do you know who my dad was? Whose dad, Gary? Whose fucking dad? I'm going to tell you a story about my dad. This one time, I brought home a dog. A scruffy little mongrel, half-staff. My dad never trusted staffs. I'm about 8. Never trusted staffs. Found him up the field and I brought him home. And my dad says, that's a staff. That's a staff. That'll turn. But I begged and begged to keep that dog. And he says, all right. Because he loved me, Gary. All right. You can keep that dog. But if anything happens... And he didn't finish his sentence. Just if anything happens. And that's it. Week later, that dog tears into my sister. Tears into her. You can still see the scar. You ask her, in here on her upper arm, you ask her, blood. Blood. It takes her up the hospital. It carries her up the hospital. And I'm at home. Hours going by fucking shitting. Dog as well, both shitting it. He comes home, says nothing. Gets the dog, gets me, gets a knife, goes upstairs, into the bathroom, dog in the bath, shaking, takes my hand, puts it on the dog's jugular, says, feel that pulse? He puts a knife in my other hand, and the blood hit the fucking ceiling. Took me 45 minutes to cut the head off. Another hour to cut the legs off. Through the bone. Put it in the bin bag. And took it up the field. And chucked it in the lake. My dad loved me. He loved my sister. Do you understand that? Gary, do you understand? I'm my father's son. Don't ever doubt me. Don't ever doubt my ability.
Jesus. Jesus.
What?
No, I mean...
What?
Have you been talking to him?
No, I don't mean...
You don't mean what?
Nothing.
I told you not to talk to him.
I haven't said. You're not in charge, Louise. You don't tell me.
I told you not to talk to him.
Louise, you're not the boss.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. And what do you mean you don't mean nothing?
Sorry?
You said you don't mean nothing, which means you mean something.
What?
I'm asking you a question.
I'm just saying.
What?
Fuck! Jesus. No, good. Good, though. No, I mean good, though.
This is him.
Yes?
You see?
Yes.
I got him.
We got him.
We got him.
His hands are hurting.
Not the police, Mark. Us. Me and my sister.
The ropes are too tight.
This is the one.
This is the one. This is the one.
Look like they're going to bleed.
So what are we going to do?
I said let them fucking well bleed.
What?
What are we going to... You know.
Are you taking the piss?
I'm just asking.
The police are doing nothing, Mark.
I know. I'm just asking because...
I thought you said you wanted to be involved.
I do want to be involved.
I thought you said you were interested.
We got him.
No, it's just a question. I'm just...
Are you not interested?
Of course he's interested.
Are you not bothered?
Of course I'm bothered.
Because if you're not bothered or interested about things around here...
I said good.
This was the last garage on the estate. Mark. You had the last garage on the estate. And now it's been blown up. What sort of people are we if we allow this to happen?
I said good. Didn't I say... Louise, didn't I say? The last thing I said was good.
You can still smell what he did here.
I know.
It's you, Mark. This is your garage.
Your fucking garage, Mark.
Yeah, I know.
Can still see the blood. He blew up your garage.
You know that?
Exactly.
No, I'm asking.
What?
I'm asking if we you know.
What's the matter with you? We know.
Okay.
You know. You fucking know.
Yes.
We live here. We know. Do you live here?
Yes. I live here.
Then you know. Don't you know?
I know. Yes, Little sod.
Yes, yeah. Little prick. Little cunt. Little fucking cunt. We've been here longer than you, Mark.
What's that got to do with any...
I'm just saying. We've been here longer than you.
Don't start with that, Francis.
We've been here longer.
I thought we agreed to leave that.
We agreed to leave that.
I thought we agreed...
I'm not attacking him. I'm just saying.
Calm down, Francis.
You calm down.
We're standing here in a burnt-out garage with a tied-up boy.
Your burnt-out garage. Your burnt-out garage, Mark.
We know it's him.
Of course we know it's him.
How do we know it's him?
We know what he's been saying.
Presentations.
We know what sort of person he is.
Explosions, bins, present fucking tations, Gary.
Because if it wasn't...
It was him.
We should talk to him.
Oh. We're going to talk to him.
That's what I said.
We're going to talk to him, all right.
I said we should talk to him.
Louise, Please don't do that.
What?
Try and make me look small.
His hands are hurting.
Ah, fuck his hands.
His wrists are bleeding.
Fuck his wrists.
And stop swearing so much.
Mark, where's your wife? Where's your wife? Gary, do you know where Mark's wife is?
She's in hospital.
You put her in hospital. He put her in hospital.
Doesn't that make you feel anything?
Of course it does.
For fuck's sake.
I'm saying it does.
People like us, walking around, in danger. My sister, in danger. We shouldn't be walking around.
She's doing a bit better. She's... No, I'm just saying she's doing a bit better. She's off the drip.
Mark, whose side are you on?
Yours.
Because things have changed.
Yeah.
You have to pick a side. You cannot walk around and saying and doing certain things. We cannot let people walk around and doing certain things and, well, he's been saying and doing certain things.
Fucking bastard.
Read the papers. I've got a mass.
She has.
I'm getting ready.
I know, but...
93-year-old woman. Raped last week.
Jesus Christ, that's nothing got...
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but don't say.
2 blocks down. Broke in. Stole £16.50. Raped her and left.
Jesus.
Ruptured her bowel.
Francis, it's nothing got to do with that.
I know, I'm just...
What? You're just what? What are you doing?
What about him? Don't shout at me, Louise. What about him? His wife was looking for him.
What?
She was looking for you.
Hey.
And where were you?
Yes, I know.
You're out chasing.
Don't start with all that.
You were nearly in here, Mark.
I know.
Nearly blown.
Yes, I know.
Lucky escape.
Wife wasn't so lucky.
Don't bring my wife.
We have to bring your wife.
Looking for you.
Don't start with that.
Crying her eyes out. Looking for you. And you with a girl.
Hey!
Chasing some child.
Don't start with all that. Louise, don't let him start with that.
Shut up, Francis.
Don't tell me to shut up.
It's him we should be.
You keep doing this, Louise.
He did it. He's the one who hurt me. I'm hurt. It's me that's hurt.
Which is what we're saying to you, Mark.
It's what I'm saying. It's me that...
I thought you wanted to do something.
I want to do something.
I thought you were sick of this shit.
I am sick of this shit. I am sick of this shit. And I do want to do something. Just do not bring that into this, because that's my feelings, and that has nothing to do with... That's not this.
I heard her crying when they put her in the ambulance. You'd expect her to be screaming or moaning, but she was crying just like a little girl.
All right.
And don't say child.
Show him your scar.
What?
Show him your scar.
Why?
Just do it.
No.
Louise, show him your...
No. Why?
Louise, show him your scar.
Why?
Because I want to prove a point.
What is your fucking...
Louise, please. Please, show him your scar. Not him, him.
You didn't say.
That's who you're dealing with. So, what do we do now?
We should ask him something. Make sure.
What?
I want to hear him say he did it. Fair trial.
Fair trial?
Because we should make sure.
Fair? He's a fucking terrorist, Mark.
I want to hear him say it.
We know he did it.
Yeah, we know he did it.
We should hear him say it, though.
No, Louise.
Prove he did it.
No.
Show we're not like him.
No.
Show we're not animals.
No.
All right. Take the tape off.
No way. No way.
You have to take
No.
There's no point if you don't.
No way. No fucking way.
Francis, there's no point if you don't.
Shut up, Louise. You're supposed to be on my side.
He can't answer.
You're my sister.
Take it off.
No, he'll scream.
No one gives a shit about him.
No way. You can't take the tape off. That's the one thing I know you do not do.
How is he going to answer?
He can nod.
He needs to do more than nod.
Dad wouldn't take the tape off.
Dad would definitely take the tape off.
Whose side are you on?
Yours?
What if he starts screaming? This is not a sane world. Terrorists, rapists, perverts all walking the fucking street. And we're the ones who'll get done for this. Don't take the tape off, Louise.
Threaten him.
What?
Threaten him.
What are you looking for?
Threaten him with this.
What?
Listen, Gary. We are going to take the tape off.
No.
Going to take the tape off and ask you some questions. All right? All right? And if you scream, I'm gonna tap you in the face with this hammer. You understand? Okay. Go on. Go on.
Louise,
Go on, Francis.
if he starts any shit, you smack him in the face.
I will.
And if he says things that aren't, or are against us or something stupid, you smack him in the face with a hammer.
I will.
Can I go home now, please?
What the fuck is she doing here?
What?
Mandy?
Did you bring her here?
No.
This isn't a party.
I said no.
Well, Mandy,
Louise? What are you doing with that hammer?
Just holding it.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
None of your business.
Mandy,
I know him.
what are you doing here?
You forget him.
Did you follow me?
No.
I can't believe.
Have you been watching me?
No!
I'm not angry. I mean, I'd be very... I've missed you. Why haven't you called?
Dunno.
How are you?
All right.
How's everything? Your dad?
Still a cunt.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Don't talk to her like that.
He goes to my school.
Forget him. What the fuck is she doing here?
She followed me.
Didn't follow you.
It's all right, Mandy. I mean, it's good if you've been watching.
I haven't been watching.
I missed you.
Don't fucking start.
You could have called.
What for?
To talk to me.
Goes to my school.
You forget you've seen him.
How have you been?
Go home. What are you doing here? Did you bring her here?
I told you.
Gary blew up the garage, Mandy.
How do you know that?
Well, he said certain things that point solidly in that direction, so we're defending ourselves.
He's a freak.
What are you doing here?
Just come here sometimes. Used to like it here.
With me.
Used to like it here. I come here sometimes. Get out. Can I stay?
No.
Louise,
She can.
can I?
No.
Don't want to go home.
You can't stay.
Hate it. Just want to stay here.
Let her stay. You can stay.
No.
I'm not his friend. He's a freak. I fucking hate him. He's got no friends. People like me don't mix with people like him, Louise. I've got loads of friends.
Why don't you go and see them now then?
What, like you go and see yours, you mean?
Don't start with me. You don't know anything about me.
No enough.
Get home and keep this buttoned.
Don't threaten her.
What?
Just saying.
Or what?
I know loads of people. Not like him. He has to sit on his own at breaks.
Or fucking what?
Look, there's no point in being contrary.
On the bus.
Contrary!
I'm not like him, Louise. He's shit.
Contrary!
I think he might be mental.
I don't think that this is the time.
Who's being fucking contrary?
Says funny things.
What things?
Don't start. This isn't the time.
What things, Mandy?
Said a load of stuff about God last week.
What did he say?
Stuff.
She's a young girl, is all I'm...
Yes! Exactly! Exactly, Mark! She's a young girl!
I know, and I'm not denying...
Mandy! What stuff?
No God or something.
You can't deny.
That's what's wrong with us.
What's wrong with us?
I'm not denying that she's young, or that...
Or that you're a pervert!
Hey!
Said we're all going to die because we haven't got souls or God or something.
He said that.
Something like that.
Hey, now!
Chasing some...
She can stay.
What?
She can stay.
Yes!
Louise,
Let her stay.
this isn't a game.
Let her stay.
Yeah, but you're just... You can't do that. You're not... Louise!
Can I go home now?
Louise, you can't just do that.
Gary, we want to ask you some questions.
I didn't do it.
Do what?
He's lying.
Blow this garage up.
Look, he's lying.
Hello, Gary.
Who did it then?
He doesn't know.
What do you mean he doesn't know?
He doesn't know who did it.
Of course he knows. He did it.
What?
He did it, Francis. Of course he fucking knows.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, he knows he did it.
I don't know.
You're a dirty fucking liar, Gary. Hit him in the face with that hammer.
Hello, Gary.
Just put the tape back on, Louise.
We're asking him questions.
I didn't do it. I honestly didn't do it.
We think you did.
Why? I don't understand.
Why did you blow up my garage?
I didn't blow up your garage, honestly.
He's just lying.
Aren't you going to say hello, Gary?
All right, man.
Don't talk to her, talk to us.
You said.
What did you say to her?
I just said hello.
Before? What did you say before? Like, last week?
I don't remember.
Yes, you do.
Hit him in the face with that hammer.
I don't.
About God. And we're all going to die. What was it that you said?
He's giving us shit. Hit him in the face.
What was it that you said?
What does it matter?
Matters. What did you say, Gary?
Go on.
I don't remember.
Fucking hell. Louise. What did you do that for?
You said.
Yeah, but fucking...
Gary, what did you say?
Louise, you're hurting him.
What did you say?
We have to believe in something, because if we don't believe in something, how can we believe in the future? And if we don't believe in the future, how can we have a future? Not God, not Allah, not lightning, or maybe me, or us, or something. A forward. The Egyptians were around for 2,000 years. It can't be just this. Things and around us, and if you believe in God, that's okay. But if you believe in the devil, that's the problem, because then you can believe others are evil, and you want to hurt, but maybe there's no good and evil, just mistakes and not mistakes.
What the fuck was that?
Mandy. Was that what he said?
Something like that.
What was all that about?
Did he blow up my garage?
Did you blow up Mark's garage, Gary?
No.
What the fuck are you on, Gary?
Are you a terrorist, Gary?
No, I am not a terrorist, Louise.
Don't use my name. Why have you been saying these things?
No, they're just things.
Do you hate us?
No.
Do you despise us?
No, I don't.
He does.
He doesn't. He looks up to us. Someone like him.
You don't know him.
Who the fuck invited you here?
Gary, did you see Mark's wife?
No.
No one invited her. She followed me.
There was a part of a carrier bag stuck to her fucking face.
Didn't follow you.
Tesco's bag. Only the heat had shrunk it. Like you used to do, Francis, remember with the crisp packets? You used to put them underneath the grill.
No, but you came back to be here.
So?
You could still see the name, but really small. It was shrunk up really small.
Thinking of me. Thinking of us.
No!
And just as they lifted her into the ambulance, it fell off.
Thinking of here, not of you.
We can still...
Not you. Thinking of being here. Thinking of being...
We can...
someone else.
Just lazily drifted off. Took her skin off, all down the side of her face, eye socket to lip.
You're just creepy.
Mandy!
Just lazily peeled off her face. Could see the eyeballs sitting into the bone.
This is all gone. Dirty old creep, like sick.
Mandy!
All gone. Okay?
Meat and bone. It was like looking at a living face of meat and bone. Tell us why you did it.
I didn't do it.
Aye, Mark, hold this. Gary, tell us why you did it.
I can't because I didn't do it.
He don't look well.
Mark.
Honestly, I didn't.
Maybe he's had enough.
Little sod.
I didn't.
Little prick.
Honestly.
Little cunt. Little fucking cunt.
Tell us how you did it then, you little cunt.
What?
This is my home.
How can I tell you how when I didn't do it?
Gary, you were not going to hurt you if you tell us.
Really?
Yes.
My wife. My fucking wife!
But
But what?
This is where I live. In my own home.
But
What? Gary?
But I didn't do it.
Don't say you didn't do it.
But I didn't.
Don't say you didn't do it.
Gary?
What makes you think I did it?
Those ropes are hurting him. You see.
We know you did it.
You don't know. You don't know. You need evidence or...
No, you don't need evidence.
Stop pissing around.
You don't need evidence for terrorists, Gary. If you say you did it, we'll let you go.
Will you?
Yes.
But I didn't.
Lie the chair down. Lie the chair down. Back against the floor.
Watch his hands, Louise. Watch his...
22 years of marriage. 20 fucking 2 years.
Put the tape on him. Mandy. Mandy.
Honesty is the best.
Gary. I want you to nod that you did it. And if you don't, Mark's going to smash your teeth in with his fucking hammer. Do you understand?
Louise,
Make sure his skull's against the floor.
maybe he's had enough.
Filthy little
Did you do it?
perverse.
He's really scared.
Filthy perverse.
Louise,
Gary, did you do it? Hit him.
fuck!
Perverse.
Gary, did you do it? Gary, hit him.
Don't hit him!
Dirty.
Stop!
God.
Louise, stop, please!
He's a terrorist.
He's...
Don't be fucking weak.
I'm not weak!
Did you do it, Gary?
He's had enough!
Hit him.
God.
Hit him.
Perverse. Oh dear.
Jesus.
Oh dear then.
He's choking.
What?
He's choking on blood.
Then take the tape off.
Oh dear then.
Jesus.
Oh dear.
His slip stuck. It's hanging.
Jesus, just pull it.
Jesus Christ!
It's all right. This is... It won't do his fucking... No. Won't do his... Look, it's all right.
It's not fucking all right.
It is. He won't do his presentations again, eh? No, it's grand. It's all right. We were...
His teeth.
It's all right.
His teeth are up.
It's all right.
I think a piece of his gum's missing.
Oh, dear, then.
No. It's all right. It is. It's...
Has he swallowed it?
It's all right.
Jesus.
Shit.
It's all right. It's all right. Mandy, look. It's all right. Francis.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, then. Oh, dear. Well, that's...
Francis.
Louise.
That's...
Louise.
That, then.
They moved a paedophile to this estate. My dad waited for him. Smashed his feet in with a baseball bat. He did that for me. I was 14. He went to prison. And he died in there of stomach cancer. And that paedophile still walks around today.
Louise.
I love you, Francis. But Gary's an agent of terror.
Louise.
Francis, I love you.
Louise.
Look, we did a good thing here today. We did. We did a good thing.
Louise.
So I'm standing there cooking this salmon teriyaki, which is a lot easier than it looks. It's actually a really easy dish. I mean, really, the trick is to get the right rice. You get the right rice, and the whole thing. You get this Japanese rice. That's the key. You have to get this Japanese rice, but you can get this in supermarkets these days. It's rounder, this rice. Tesco's, or they use it in sushi, or Sainsbury's probably. And the shape is, I think the texture is, you know the difference immediately. Rounder, maybe a bit sweeter, I'm not sure. But you get this rice, and what I do is I have these bowls. And once it's cooked, I pack the rice into these bowls, tip it onto the plate, give it a twist, then take the bowl away. And because this rice is sticky, you have this dome, this little dome of rice. It's really very easy, but it looks, it looks. And then it's salmon steaks, which I fry in the pan in a little olive oil and sprinkle a bit of flour. Like this isn't rocket science, I know, but I sprinkle a bit of flour before putting it in the pan because it takes the moisture from the flesh, which crisps up the skin. Now, I know, I fucking know that's no revelation. I mean, like this isn't, like it's a very easy thing. And it's cook the salmon, and at the last minute, it's in with the teriyaki, which comes in a bottle. And usually I feel a bottle, some celebrity chef sauce in a bottle, like it feels like cheating, usually. But this is, and you can do better than this cunt yourself. But this is, it comes in a bottle. That's how teriyaki comes. It's like soy sauce. This is how it comes. So at the last minute, you splash in the teriyaki into the hot pan just for a minute and then serve salmon next to the rice, which is a dome, and drizzle the fish with the sauce and a little on the rice, which doesn't break apart because it's a sticky rice. It looks fantastic. And maybe a hint of green, spinach, or I do these beans, these Japanese-style green beans, but that's not important. It always looks fantastic. But it's really a very easy thing to cook. And I'm standing there cooking. And I say cooking, but I mean watching. Because honestly, this is so fucking easy. And I'm standing there cooking this salmon teriyaki. And I hear the door open, and I know she's home. And she comes into the kitchen, not a word. I carry on watching my salmon teriyaki, hitting the meat of the fish with my spatula. No reason, just, She puts something down, bags, shopping bag, the sound of apples hitting the table through the plastic of the carrier bag, keys on the table. And then she's behind me, peering over my shoulder. And this is a big gesture, much bigger than it looks, because she always used to come up behind me and rest her chin on my shoulder and watch me cooking. And though she hasn't rested her chin on my shoulder, she almost has. And this is a big gesture. And I can feel her belly pressing into my back. And I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy. And yes, I'm not gonna lie. There is a part of me, yes, that thinks, yes, all right. I did get to a point when I couldn't stand to look at that belly and all. I'm not proud of this and all that it represented or whatever, but I'm not going to pretend what has happened hasn't happened, and maybe, yes, in 3 months, a year, I don't know, no one knows the future, but right now I am very happy to feel that belly in my back. Thank you. And I'm almost tempted to lean back into her. But I know how delicate this moment is. And I know not to do that yet. And I know that all of this is up to her. And she's perhaps, I don't know, testing? I don't know, or something. So I don't lean back. And her chin isn't on my shoulder. But this is, I can feel something being said here. So I just stand there cooking, watching my salmon teriyaki. And after maybe 30 seconds of this, she looks up at me and says, "You've always been a lucky cunt." And I have to laugh because it's true. I have always been a lucky cunt.
So I'm standing at this bus stop, and my feet are in concrete. They're made of lead, ice, all around me. High Street is flowing. Buses coming and going, and I can't move. Don't get on them. People washing around me, flowing around me, and I have no idea how long I'm there because things outside seem speeded up, but things inside are moving slower than continents. And I'm terrified to the core of my body because I can feel the concrete creeping up my legs. I can feel the lead claiming me molecule by molecule. I can feel the ice slowly taking me over, and I want to scream for help. Cry, I want to cry. I'm shitting it in case it reaches my chest and I stop breathing. I cannot move. And I'm praying that it doesn't reach my lungs, but I am powerless to stop it. And this small bloke bumps into this big bloke and knocks over his ice cream. Just like that. Just bumps into him. No one noticing, really. He just bumps into him. And the ice cream, it sort of topples. It topples into the gutter and splats. Comic, really. This big bloke's ice cream toppling off into the dirt. And this big bloke who's with his girlfriend, and she seems very nice. This big bloke turns to the little bloke, and he's smiling, the big bloke, but you can tell he's gutted. I mean, you are, aren't you? Something like that happens. You're gutted. And he's saying that the little bloke has to get him another. And the little bloke is saying no, because the bloke wasn't watching where he was going, which is fair enough, because I saw this. And the big bloke who's gutted is screaming at the little bloke, shoving him, and the little bloke is standing his ground. But you can tell he's not up for this. And the little bloke's girlfriend is shouting at the big bloke, telling him to stop, begging him. And I feel sorry for her because she's nice enough. And the big bloke now is shoving the little bloke, bouncing him off the plate glass. And I feel sorry for her because she's nice enough. And the big bloke now is shoving the little bloke, bouncing him off the plate glass window. And now everyone has noticed. And the entire street has stopped. And the girlfriend and the big bloke started a massive row. And the little bloke sees this as his chance to get out of there. He just walks away. He hasn't bargained for this. He's on his way to work. Meet some friends or something. A coffee, a drink, I don't know. And this big bloke notices that he's gone. And he's chasing after him. And suddenly I'm behind him. I'm behind this big bloke because there's a panic in my guts. And it's broad daylight. But I've seen the look in the big bloke's eyes and it's pure fire. Pure fury. And he reaches the little bloke who doesn't know he's there. And he runs up behind him and shoves him with all his might. And again, this is comic really because it's like he's in the playground. And this little bloke who doesn't know he's there goes flying into the concrete post. The side of his head straight onto the edge. And what is more shocking is the noise. It's this crack. Like you'd hit that concrete with a hammer. And he's on the floor. And there's blood pouring, pumping out of this gash just above his temple. And he's grey. He is suddenly the colour of the concrete. And we just stand there. Me and this big bloke and his girlfriend. And I look up at him, at his face. I feel so sorry for him. His face. I wanted to almost hold his hand. Because he hadn't... This wasn't what he... Second hangs in the air like breath. And then they're off. Him first. Her still staring until the pull. Because he has her hand. Until the pull yanks her away and I just have time to see that she is terrified before she's gone. Terrified of that grey face pumping blood. Terrified of that sound. That crack. And I'm on my knees. And I'm sitting him upright because somewhere in the back of my mind I remember that if he bleeds into his brain he'll go into a coma. And I don't know how I know that, but I do. And he's coming round and he's trying to get up. And I get him to stay where he is. And I'm trying not to let him see the shade of grey he's becoming. That's reflected in my face. And I keep talking to him while the ambulance is on its way. And I've got no idea. No idea at all what I said. Can't remember. But I do remember that after a while, he's began to realise that he does need an ambulance after all. Because at first, he just wants to get up and go to work. But now he's realised and he's sitting quietly. And I'm talking away to him. And I've got no idea what I said. And he thanks me. He's thanking me. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? Thanking me. Me. Do you know what I am? But he's still thanking me. He's thanking me. And I want to cry. I want to cry my eyes out like a little baby and hug this grey man through all the blood because he's sitting there with a cracked open head and he's thanking me. But I know that I don't deserve to even touch, to even think about touching this man's blood. And I'm in the ambulance with him and I'm holding his hand and he's got an oxygen mask on. And I explained to them that I shouldn't be there, that I am nothing. I was just around. And they smile and say, keep hold of his hand. And I do. And I think that my heart is breaking into two distinct pieces. I think that it is cracking. And I think that it is emptying of blood and that I might die in this ambulance because of an emptied heart. And I look at my feet and there's no concrete. And I just hold his hand. I just hold his hand.
So I'm watching this man cutting this other man's head off. And he's sort of doing it with this knife that looks like a kitchen knife or something, which is completely inappropriate. So he's having to put a lot of work into it. He has to push hard down, and he's sawing, but that's no good really, because the knife has no teeth. And he's pulling the head back and sawing with the knife and sort of twists it every so often, and it's taking ages. And I'm sitting here eating chicken kebab with peas, potatoes and gravy. And it tastes pretty bad because, you know, it's one of those ready meals. And I'm eating it off my lap because I'm in my bedroom, I'm at my computer, watching this man cutting this man's head off, and this is the 5th time I've watched it because I feel like I'm close to understanding something. And the potatoes are stuck together, and I hate that. And then the TV's on in the background, and there's this interview. It's this documentary I recorded, and they're interviewing these American soldiers, and the chicken it's sort of like reconstituted, so it's a bit spongy, which makes me feel a bit queasy. And I burn my tongue on the butter, which is really hot. And there are 4 men around this man, all dressed in black and wear masks, and look, you can tell that they're wondering if they should give him a hand because he's really having to hack to get through, and there's white writing all along the bottom of the telly, translation into English of a statement read over the top of this, and I smell a bit. Jesus, I do smell. Because I haven't had a wash in a few days. In fact, I haven't even been out in a few days, but I'm close to something. I can feel that I'm close to understanding something, so I click on rewind and I start again, and the peas fall off my fork because I wasn't concentrating on what I was doing. I sort of wondered, you know, like, absently, while it's rewinding, because this is streaming and you have to wait, but if this isn't wrong, you know, and if I'm not using all of this as entertainment, which would be sick. But I don't think I am, because I feel like I'm close to understanding something. And I pick the peas up from the blade and put them in my mouth.
And yes, all right, I admit it. I serve with a slight flourish. A flourish, all right? Because I have decided to serve it with these beans. Green beans. Like those French beans, I think, there. And it looks, and these are fantastic. Because the way I do them is I dip them in a sieve in boiling water, and the moment they're back to the boil, I pull them out. Blanching. This is blanching. I'm blanching them. The moment they're back to the boil, I whip them out and run them under the cold tap, and then and this is so fucking easy that it makes me guilty almost. It's so easy. I sparkle them with a little brown sugar, some roasted sesame seeds, which come in a bag. I mean, they come in a fucking bag. I mean, like, it's not as if I'm sitting here roasting them myself. And a little bit of Cajun spice. And the Japanese use something else, which I don't know what the fuck it is, so I always use Cajun spice, which means with the spice and the sugar and the sesame seeds, these beans are sweet and spicy and crunchy. So you have the pink of the salmon, the green of the beans, and it looks fucking like the rice in a little dome, and the teriyaki drizzled. And so yes, there is a bit of a flourish when I lay these plates down, and the look on her face, it's only slight, but she's impressed. And I know it's all worth it. And we sit down to eat. Chopsticks. We eat with chopsticks, because why the fuck not?
And the beeping is the beeping of my answer machine, and I know there's about 10 messages on there, and I know that they're all from work because I haven't been in there in a few days because, well, I've been here and the peas aren't too bad actually. And it starts again. The man having his head cut off and then the other man sort of pushes into the man's neck, into the side of the man's neck, and just at that moment, one of the men in black just sort of lifts his foot and then puts it back. And the man's hacking away and I can hear a new soldier, right? And he's on the telly and he's saying that he keeps these pictures of like planes hitting buildings on his lockers to remind him why he's here. Which seems a little bit silly. The peas aren't too bad. And I look around the room and there's headlines everywhere. Papers, Guardian, Daily Mail, Express, Sun, Mirror, Standard, Times, Telegraph, Financial Times, Independent, tons of headlines all over my room. Hundreds, 6 dead in the shaft, Brits held without access to lawyers, terror plot fails, House of Saudi denies terror links, Mullahs denounced terror, American troops rescue Buffalo, Refineers no longer a target, and then I sort of see myself from the outside. Do you know what I mean? I sort of see myself stinking and eating chicken Kevin, watching this man having his head cut off, surrounded by headlines with the TV on, right, and streaming all across the bottom of the monitor, and it's as if I'm seeing it all in slow motion. It's as if the sound has taken on a completely different quality in my ear. Far away. Everything's far away. And I turned my head to the computer because
and I'm standing inside the curtain. I'm inside the curtain while he sits on the side of the bed, and the nurse and the doctor, they do things to him. He's so grey, and I'm thinking any minute now they're going to tell me to get out. But they don't. They don't tell me to get out. They just tend to this man, and he's smiling at them. He is. He's in this room smiling at them. Not like, he's not mad or it's not shock. He's just smiling his thank you to them. And I'm thinking, yes, thank you. And I want to say, thank you. This is what you do. This beautiful thing is what you do. And I didn't even know this was happening. I didn't even know that this was here. But I don't say anything because I don't even know this man. And I'm here on the inside of the curtain and they know I'm there. You see, they're moving around me knowing I'm there and getting on with their work. And they're not asking me to leave. You see, I'm on the inside of the curtain. And this man with the blood all over his clothes, he's looking at me. And he's smiling that smile. And
fucking easy. Easy fucking peasy. The flesh is breaking apart, and I have to say, it's cooked well. Pink all the way through, with perhaps a hint of darker seam right through the centre, like wounded muscle. Perfect. And when you break this apart, it's easy with chopsticks. When you break this apart, it's like your eyes are eating. That's how. Alright? That sounds stupid, but it's like you've tasted with your eyes. And she's impressed. I know she's impressed. She's trying to be all nonchalant. Miss fucking nonchalant. But you know, I know. I can see. And I'm not even, because like this is, it's such an easy dish. And she's lifting. And like, this is it. She's lifting a piece of salmon with her chopsticks. And she's not very... I've always been deft with the old chopsticks, but she's not. And it's almost to her mouth. It's with her, the mouth, her lips pursing, reaching out as if she's going to kiss almost. And it drops. It drops with the splat onto her plate. And she's left there looking like she's going to kiss her chopsticks. And her face is a picture. And suddenly I'm laughing because this is funny. Like this, you should see this. This is funny. And she looks at me like all sort of hurt. I mean, like not really, but like a child who's dropped her sandwich in a puddle. Like that second, when they're almost deciding whether to cry or not, and it just makes me laugh harder. And there's a slight pause, and then she starts laughing.
And he sort of pushes the knife into the side of the man's neck, and the man sort of raises his foot and puts it down again. And then I rewind, and the same thing happens, and I rewind, and the same thing happens, and I swing my head to the TV because suddenly it's coming from outside of me. It's the soldier, and he's just said it. He's just fucking said it. The end justified the means. On telly. He's just said it. And I realised just very slowly that I heard someone saying it earlier or something, a politician, or maybe that's why it's running through my mind because of that. And then I turn back and the man, no, and I'm very close. I'm very, very close.
And we're laughing.
In the white writing.
Uncontrollably.
I see in the white writing all along the bottom of the screen.
There are tears. There are tears running down.
Sort of pushes the knife into the man's neck, and the man sort of raises his foot. And in the white writing it's saying that he just forced it, justified by the ends of the means, and he just sort of raises his foot, and I experienced this moment.
And the nurse is telling me not to worry.
And
that he's going to be fine. They just need to keep him in for observation, and suddenly I'm
running down our cheeks.
Crying.
Wondering how many of these stories,
tears,
these headlines I would find this phrasing or variations of.
There are tears running down my cheek.
And it suddenly occurs to me that I'm not laughing at all.
Because I'm looking at this man and he's a bit... It was a surprise. And it made him sort of step back, but he didn't want to step back, but it was a surprise. So he just sort of lifts his foot.
It suddenly occurs to me that I'm...
Crying.
And it's such a human thing to do. Do you know what I mean? To be surprised and then try to cover it up, but not quite to be able to. This person, and I experience a moment of...
tears of pure ice. I'm crying ice.
And I feel,
and this is just for a split second, I feel
a moment of
absolute
shock,
devastation.
Oh,
absolute devastation
washes over me,
running down my cheeks. These tears of hope. This is...
Absolute devastation. Just for that split second. Like a frame of a car accident inserted into a film. Just that split second. And it's as if I'm in death.
Ends justify the means, ends justify the means, ends justify the means, but...
This is...
As if I'm living. Just for that second inside a scream. Do you know what I mean? Inside, around me, inside me.
This boy, and my peas. My chicken calf, my potatoes are spilling all on the floor because my muscles have gone slack, and a part of me can still feel the fucking garlic butter scald in my legs, but...
This is...
This boy. Because that's what he is. This boy raising his foot because he's shocked. And I cannot move.
And this is...
Because I suddenly realised the complexity.
Frame of absolute devastation that undercuts everything.
The complexity of each individual.
Oh.
Human, and maybe they don't.
And then it's back to the laughter.
Maybe they never do.
And I don't even know this man's name.
Maybe they never justify, and it's the means that's important, and the garlic butter is fucking burning.
Back in the laughter, and we're laughing, and she's right.
This boy.
This man.
She's right.
This man's name. I don't even...
This silly boy.
I am a lucky cunt.
Afterwards, I went for a walk. Didn't want to go home. Him sitting there talking bollocks. I walked for miles. I wasn't scared, I just walked and walked and walked. And I could feel the night around me brushing my skin. It felt like it was brushing my skin. And all that's going through my mind, for some reason, is this thing my dad used to say when I was a kid. And for some reason, I remember this. And this is from before he was a cunt, when he was a man. A real big man. He used to say that the reason that the Soviet bloc fell was because in 1989 there was a global nuclear war that killed every single man, woman, and child on this planet. But it was such a massive shock that we didn't realise we were dead, so we just carried on with our lives. That's why everything's so shit. Imagine saying that to a little girl. But I loved it. I thought it was so clever. And now, walking through this night, it's the only thing going round my head. Again and again and again. We're all dead. We're all dead. We're all dead. And I'm in this park. And I don't even remember getting in. I mean, I must have climbed over a wall or a gate, and they're big walls as well, but this park is huge. There's like whole hills in it, and woods and all sorts, and I'm just wandering around this park 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. And everything's old in here. And at the top of this hill, there's these old buildings. And you know that in the day, those buildings are open. And this is an important park. And in the day, those buildings are open to the public. And it's tourists and stuff. But right now, it's just me. Me and the park. And I sit down. But the place I sit is no good because I've got a view of the buildings on the hill, so I move. I carry on walking until I find somewhere else, but that's no good because I can see the gate, so I move. And find somewhere else, but that's no good because there's a view of Canary Wharf, so I move. But that's no good because I can see some shops on the high street, so I move. And that's no good because I can see the wall of the park, so I move. But that's no good because there's this office block and flats, so I move. That's fine. That's fine. I can see no trace of civilization whatsoever. And I just sit there. And I begin to think of it. But I begin to think of it as a real possibility. And I'm thinking about how I could build a shelter here. And during the day, I could hide out here. And at night, I could wander around the park. And I'm thinking I could catch squirrels or something. But I mean, this is such a strong feeling. I mean, this feels like a real possibility. And I feel all right. And the sun is coming up. And I realise that from where I'm sitting, I can see people after all. Now there's light. Through the trees, I can just, shops, the back of these shops and some parked cars. And it's the city. But now I feel all right. I feel good now. I feel like maybe we're not dead after all. And this is going to sound silly, all right? But because of how I'm feeling now, I pour my love into the city to help. I try to help like it's a liquid. And I'm sitting there with the sun rising, pouring my love into the city. That's what I'm doing. And then I remember. I always used to think there was grown-up somewhere. Do you know what I mean, though? Someone in charge, running the show, who knows what's best. I always thought there was grown-ups. Now I know there are no grown-ups. There's just us.